I don't know how many times I have to say it, but Ted Cruz is a piece of shit. And he loves to spin, but he's not going to be able to spin his way out of this one. The race is over, Ted. The Associated Press has declared that it is mathematically impossible for you to win enough delegates to get to 1,237. So the only point of the matter is going to be whether Donald Trump is going to be able to get to that number. And guess what? He's probably going to get there. And your dumbass, with all of your bullshit, all of your stealing of delegates, let me not say stealing, all of your delegate conversions to double agent delegates is not going to serve you, because he's going to get there on the first ballot. Now, I am a Donald Trump hater, okay, but reality speaks and we all have to listen. I'm going to play this clip from CNN person Carol Costello. This lady, I really just noticed this lady is really bad, but the information within the clip should be somewhat informative.
All right, as we've been telling you, Donald Trump won big in the state of New York in last night's primary. In fact, he picked up 85 delegates. Senator Ted Cruz picked up 0. He came in third after John Kasich. Donald Trump said it's time for Senator Cruz to get out of the race.
Now, just so that you are aware, there are 95 delegates, Republican delegates in New York. Trump actually picked up 92 of them. So that number that she gave is not correct.
Senator Cruz is in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and he sees things very differently. Listen.
Manhattan has spoken.
Actually, New York has spoken, because there was one, I believe it was 2 districts in Manhattan that Trump didn't get 50%, and I believe it was in one district that Kasich actually beat him.
And if the rest of the voters would quietly go home now and allow him to give the general election to Hillary, all would be better. And the media repeats this with great excitement. By the way, here are a few facts that they may not tell you. State of Wisconsin, I won 13,000 more votes in Wisconsin than Donald Trump did last night in New York.
Yeah, and why is that? Because New York is one of the most democratic states in the union, so there are not as many Republicans in New York.
State of Texas, we won more than twice as many votes in Texas as Donald did in New York.
Right, but you didn't get 50% of the votes in Texas, and you are obviously a favorite son in Texas, so you were supposed to win it, but you didn't crack 50%. So what does that tell you? Donald Trump hit 60% in his home state of New York, and you basically got your ass kicked because of your big mouth, and in particular railing about New York values. Well, they showed you New York values. Your ass got 0 delegates, and you finished third behind Kasich.
And there's a reason Donald wants all of the lapdogs in the media to say that the race is over.
The reason is because it's basically true, other than you guys trying to hold him back from getting the 1,237. So actually the race isn't over. He still has the race to get to 1237. But for you guys, the delegate race for the first round nomination is over.
Because the 3 weeks that preceded yesterday, there were a total of 5 states that voted.
And that's not actually true. In the 3 weeks, 2 weeks actually, before the New York results, there were 2 states where the people actually voted, and 2 states where there were caucuses, and 1 state where the state party basically made the decision about the delegates. So his information is incorrect there as well. But the one thing about New York is it knocked out all of those states that Mr. Cruz is going to harp about, and gave Trump a bigger lead than before he came into those 5 states, including Wisconsin.
Utah, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Colorado, Wyoming. In all 5, we won a landslide. $1.3 million people voted in those 5 states. By the way, that's more than voted in New York. And you want to talk about different states, you have Mountain West states. You have a state like Wisconsin in the upper Midwest, an industrial blue-collar state. You have a state like Colorado, a libertarian-ish, purplish state that just legalized pot. And Colorado's providing the brownies after this event.
His jokes are terrible. But most of the states that he mentioned are basically Republican states. Now, Wisconsin, that's a purple state, as is Colorado. But the rest of them, Utah, Wyoming, I forgot what the 5th one was, they're all heavily red states.
But you look at the diversity of those states, and in
All
every
right, so you get the gist. I don't think Senator Ted Cruz will be leaving the race anytime soon. He's going.
Yeah, so that's Lyin Ted. He's got to spin this the best way that he can, because his ass is basically done as far as the first round is concerned. He and Kasich are both hanging their hats on Trump not making the 1237 to get the nomination on the first round, and then delegates falling away from Trump, and Cruz is hoping that they come to him. But I don't think that the Republican Party really wants him. He's just a Trojan, and once Trump doesn't get it, I think all hell is going to break loose.